Fifth graders, once again, we're going to work with tables today. So I would like you to make a new Google Docs. And I want you to call this one group table. Stop the video, name yours, group table. We're going to do this together as a group. Now I would like you to insert a table that is 5 by 5. 5 by 5. Perfect. Before we begin typing this top row, I would like you to select just those 4. Tell it to center. Choose a font, but I don't want it to be particularly large. I still have to have it be able to fit in these boxes. So don't go too terribly big, okay? We're going to type the names of some animals in here. The first one is a unicorn. If you're doing a split screen, you can just freeze it for a minute. Next one is a sea serpent. See if you can figure this one out as I type it. And the last one is a dragon. Okay? Here, I am going to go back to my font, keeping my font pretty much the same all the way through here, but I don't want to center these. I'm going to put the names of kids in here. So there's our first one. His name is Dan. We have Sarah, Melody, and the last one is named Uli, U-L-I. All right. Then, starting here, take a look. I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to choose my font that I've been using for the names and for the animals. I might make my font a little bit larger, or my size a little bit larger. That's maybe too big. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit bigger. And I'm also going to center it, and I'm going to change the color. Pick something bright, and you're welcome to use custom. All right. So those we're going to use in a little bit. But I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to write some rules for you. So I'm going to stay with Arial just so that you can read them easily, and make my font a little bit larger. You do not need to type these. I'm typing them for you so that I can kind of show you how we're going to use this table. So here's our first clue. These are clues to a puzzle. All right, here's clue number 1. No child has a pet that starts with the same letter as his or her name. Now, again, you don't have to type that. I'm just giving you clues. So let's take a look at this. Fix my hairs. All right. So that means Dan does not have a dragon. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to put an X. That is kind of small. So maybe if I bold it and make it a little bit bigger, I can go back to a 30. So that looks pretty good. Dan does not have a dragon, which means Sarah does not have a. You finish putting X's where these kids don't have that particular animal. Finish up with Uli and Melody, putting in X's. That's all we're doing right now because it just says that they don't have that. Clue number 2 says Dan doesn't have a pet that lives in the water. Well, that means that Dan just going to go ahead and do this right now because I keep changing it. That means that Dan does not have a sea serpent because they live in the water, and so do manatees. That means Dan has this. Now, I'm not going to put an X or an O there. What I'm going to do is dump color. Now, it doesn't have to be the same color, but whatever solid color you want to put in there for that background, that means Dan has a unicorn. Here's clue number 3. Think about that. What animal can Melody not have? The other thing that I forgot to tell you is if Dan's got the unicorn, that means Sarah doesn't. That means Melody doesn't. And that means Uli doesn't. So that's important that you come back and fill those in because Dan's got it. No one else can have it. Melody is allergic to smoke. So that takes one of them off. And here's your last one. This is the last clue. And when you get done, you will know who everybody has. You're going to have to work through this. Sarah loves to fly. So continue to put X's. Continue to do solid colors. Remember, that's the background that we can dump in there. As soon as I click in the cell, it lets me dump a background color. When you're done, you're going to raise your hand. You're going to let me see it so we can go on from there. So have some fun. Finish that up.